Hello, welcome back. Sorry this has been a bit of a delay, but I've been working on this slowly but steadily because the controls are finicky. And yeah, this is what this episode's kind of about, and it'll be a short one because I've already done the majority of the menial work. Um, but yeah, there's quite a lot of stuffing around in terms of this. So I've just jumped straight into the game because I've been working on it a little bit today. But as you can see, I've got most of the controls in the in the TARDIS at the moment. There's just a few left which I'll go over with you just because yeah. Um just because they're sort of strange and stuff. Alright, just before you begin, if you're doing this side by side with the video, if you need to pause here, I'll give you like 5 seconds to pause if you want. Okay, cool. So, assuming you paused it and copied down all this information, these are the things you're going to need. I just realized I forgot one of them. It's okay. So, blue stabilizers. Let's autopilot. Oops. In the Edwardian. So, that's what you're gonna need. These primary controls you need to fly the TARDIS. It's the thing you need to have the TARDIS in. Or to use it and fly and whatever. These are your other controls. You need those to either refuel, repair, radio dial, scanner dial, whatever. Yeah, you got it. With this, you got all of those, and there's also the sort of your basic look scanner thingy. What's it called? I don't even know what they're called. They're the little dials that tell you what's going on. The system dials, that's what I'm going to call them, system dials. So your power, shields, systems. What's the other one? Fuel. Okay, so you need those. You need those as well, but they're pretty low on the list because you're just putting them in place. All right. So what I have left to do is put in the comms and the system dials, I believe. Yes, that sounds about right. As you can see here, I've been working on it. It's a bit bare, and I may add some stuff later on, but I'm not entirely sure if that's necessary considering that while I'm a big fan of like having clutter everywhere, I feel like this console is a little bit neater and stuff. Wow, that looks really dark. Okay, so what we're going to do first is talk about naming. So I haven't really named this properly, and this is one of the things you must do when you put your thing down. So let's get the comms. Let's get the comms. So I feel like we should. Let's try down at hexagonal. I've been using hexagonal for this mostly in terms of controls. So, where is the comms for this? Comms. I might be a bit blind, I apologise. Where are they? I don't think I can see them. That's curious. Right, rather than waste time, there's some comms which I'm fairly sure I know about. Now this might get confusing in terms of design, but still. They are right there. See? Comms. Okay. So the usual thing, make sure it's highlighted, copy render, swoosh, whoops. There we are. And I like to paste off markers, as I've said before, because it gives it a nice viewpoint. I can find it easily. So T brings it up there. Let's bring that. Oh, yeah, we want to stay away from there because that's got the proximity sensor as well. We'll put it over here. That way, you're less likely to get them confused. Your usual rotational stuff, and that may have just, yeah, that was slightly anti-productive. Alright, let's put this down here actually. Press F and it brings it down more quickly. Might just make that a tad larger because, yeah, consoles. Whoops. T is a wonderful button, my friends. Use that. Okay, that looks slightly Coolio 330. Can't tell because it's so blue. Certainly FL65 we're here. That looks alright. I may come back to it. Alright. So, now what we want to do is call it the ISO capitalize comms ref. And you kind of want to do that for each one. You want to state what it is and then ref. So here, throttle, ref. Also, persistent reference. Make sure that is always on, otherwise sometimes it won't work. So I'll just go around and make sure each one of these things has a persistent ref. Persistent ref, persistent ref. You get the idea. Eventually you'll be just able to turn it, turn it on by yourself. This is one of the things because you need this for scripting, which will be the next episode. I'm not going to be able to pump that out tonight, but still. Zigzag plotter, persistent ref. Yeah, so this has actually taken me a couple of hours to do. It's like, okay, this is something else. I think maybe Astronav ref. There's something else I'll come back to later on, but this is not entirely necessary as far as I'm concerned. Like, there is no use for it as of yet. I don't know what's happening with 2.2 or the future. It probably has something to do with it, but that. So there are these two controls, if I can. So the miscellaneous controls, just so you can see. Drift compensators and the Astronav computer. I have no idea what these are used for, so far as I know. They're the foot pedals in Coral and Copper, like the drift compensators, and the Astronav computer is pretty much the same all around. Pardon me. So yeah, those I include them because I have to, but I don't know if they're absolutely necessary at the moment. So this is something which will tie into when you're modding something, like if it screws up in game and you come back here and you want to get rid of it. So when you rename something, it takes the title. So ISO Astronav ref. Because I'm changing it, press no to create a new form, because you want to keep that object. That object needs to have the name, and says yes to confirm it. Now, if I duplicate this, and I call this ISO Astronav ref, click here. form ID is not unique. This is kind of if you delete an object that carries this title, so let's say you delete the throttle and you save your game, the throttle's permanently deleted so far as I know, but it still carries the title. You have to rename things so far as I know. Rename things if you're going to delete them. So, okay, so if I wanted, let's say this was the Astronav ref, I'd just go back, ISO Astronav. Okay, now I can delete it if I want, but I'm just going to get rid of its title. No, yes, okay, delete. So yeah, now I can put in another one of it with its title if I want, but that was just, you know, yeah. I'm just going to cut back later to once I've... Oh, no. Sorry. I'm deciding as I'm doing these things. This is something else. Proximity and your proximity ambience. So this one's always gotten me, because it's... Alright, this is what you want to do. Go into your object window, type FWVQT, and then click all, because that'll filter it. And you want to come up to your hexagonal quest script. Like, that's the one you want to copy off. Now these are the two we're talking about. You want to be careful, because sometimes you can get them mixed up, and if you do that, then you're going to screw up the proximity alarm. So this proximity. Wow, okay, that's weird. Why is it doing that? What's going on? Something's going crazy, guys. Gek is not being friendly. And I've just lost my control. Please save. Thank you. Okay, so we have control back. That's nice. Don't know what's going on there. Let's whiz over to... Whoops. Let's whiz over to Glitch. Glitch is always a good one to sort of follow because it does the usual thing. I haven't played in a while, so bear with me. My double click's not working. That's not good. Okay, that means there's a bug with the game and it's not cooperating. Alright, I'll be back in a moment. And we're back. Sorry about that. Don't know why, but Gek was not happy. Guess it wanted a raise or something. Okay, so you see this proximity ref, and then you want to make sure you got this like copy from hexagonal. It's the best option in my opinion, and proximity alarm. So we'll just scroll all the way back. Pardon me. Gonna call that proximity. Okay, no, yes, bingo. Marker. Edit, paste render. Now we want to put this over that. Proximity alarm. Whoops. Make sure it's capitalized. Alarm ref. Always ref. That sounds like a very strange thing to do. Always ref. Right. What do I have left? Drift compensators. Drift compensators and the little dials. Alright, this is the one thing. One thing with working this console is that it tends to be a bit more tedious than others. because all of them look the same. Well, not really, but they're just. I didn't want that. Yeah, you see what I mean? They're all just like, oh, we do look identical, but we're actually different in several ways. Yeah, I don't know the difference between this. Okay, that's new. God. There we go. So we have drift. So edit, copy, click on the window, Control Z, and scroll back to our console. Let's try that. The marker there. So I should. Whoops. I tend to do this a lot. Apologies. Edit. What the frack? Don't know if you noticed, but my mouse has decided to go haywire, and I'm not recording this in high frame rate. I just realised. Oh, jeez, this is going to be a bad day. I can't. Gek is freaking out. Well, alrighty. Well, I may have to re-upload this or redo this because ha 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 ha. Wonderful. You know, okay, turns out I am recording that, so all is not lost. Wonderful. Edit, paste render. Wonderful. And we shall just rotate this around. And I think G goes up. Or that might not. We may have to shrink it down a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny amount. F. Sorry, just tinkering with things that still doesn't fit it. Maybe the bottom one may. That's better. Maybe only a tad. Yeah, this happens to go on for a while. That sits pretty well, actually. ISO, whoops, drift, ref. Awesome. Yes, this is going for a tidbit longer than I thought it was, but yeah, yeah, I might just cut back once I've done the dials, the system dials, that is. And yeah, okay. Alrighty, so the controls are done, and as you can see, all four of them are there. They don't, so far as I know, they don't particularly need any referencing other than just fuel. Yeah, fuel, power, shields, and components. Careful not to mix fuel and refuel up, because that will create some problems for you in the future. Yeah. So that's kind of everything object-wise, except for one thing, which I will actually go to do now. Yeah, all these lines are showing up, and it's wonderful-ish. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so you see this little oven thing? There's a few things I've forgotten, but I'll get to that in a minute. This oven thing, this you need. So, edit, copy, render, and this effectively ties in with the scripts, which yet again will be next episode. But you need to place this under your. Thank you. Thank you. You need to place this under your console. So let's just take off and. Haha, that didn't go anywhere. Let's take off another 50. Maybe all the way down to that. Alright, we want to put it there. Edit base. Yes, yes. And oh, I forget what this is called in the thing. So let's do quick jump to the. Where the? Hold on, it was right there. So we want to call. So whoa, sorry, that's slow. We want to get it ISO name ref. So the ISO name act ref. Okay. So that should be alright. It may have issues with the capitalization, but we'll see about that in the future. Alrighty. Now there are a few other things I forgot, because you kind of want them if you're going to be able to do anything, remotely significant. So, for this, we are going to go. I've always liked using Corel stuff. Corel's my jam. So, we want the toolkit. Edit, copy, render. Toolkit is kind of like my universal storage area. I put everything in there. Doesn't matter what it is, it just goes. Edit, paste render. That can be ISO TARDIS tool kit. Okay. Persistent reference. You want to make sure that's on every time. Otherwise, it will not work. No, I don't like it there. We'll bring it up one. There we go. That can just sit there, and now you won't be able to get this out of hexagonal, which is a little bit annoying. But what you want to do is go. You need to go down here. It's probably not the best way to go. Whoops. Here it is. You want this little scrumptious thing, the engine. Copy render. Jeez, I could do with a nip. Getting old. Yay, age. You never want to grow up, kiddies. It's not fun. Well, it is fun. You get to do stuff. Not really. It's not fun at all. Ignore what I said. Life is a pain. So this one we'll want to do by hand because the floor, pressing F drops the item down to the floor, and that's not always what you want. I might put that further in, actually. That doesn't look. It's not very nice, and it's a bit butchered. Just make sure that's. That doesn't look half bad, actually. Alright, I forget what this is called, so use the quest script if you're not entirely sure what it's called. Because whoa, that's not meant to happen till later. Where is the mechanical? Because you kind of need the mechanical if it will open. Where is it? Apologies if I missed this, but it's late, and at the time of recording, oh, stuff it. So yeah, we'll go all through this in the next episode. I just need to get this impolite word thingy. I can't find the engine. I swear it's here. Like, I could look for it for ages and not find it. Might just be that sort of day. Oh well, let's just call this the ISO mechanical ref. What's the edit base say? Maintenance hatch. Maintenance. Does it say maintenance anywhere there? Control F. Little. Maintenance. Nope. That doesn't look like maintenance to you, does it? I am forgetting how to spell things today. That's bad. Maintenance. What of good you are. Jesus, I have to do everything myself. Apologies. Curiouser and curiouser. Well, I may come back to it later on. I think mechanical is the best for the time being. Generally, what's said there is the best thing to reference. Okay, no, yes, done. And yeah. Now, that's all I'm going to do for this episode, because the rest is tied into scripting. Everything you sort of saw me go about over here with the scripts and stuff will be done in the next episode. I'll edit this and upload it when I have the chance. That may be several days since recording, and I may not get around to the next episode for a while, even though it's the quickest part of it. I'm also doubting whether I need to do NavMesh, because NavMesh is pretty much critical to any sort of object you've got, but since I am using both a floor and a wall, sort of, what I'm using basically enables me to walk on it without having to deal with that. Like, I'll give you a short thing right now. So, generate NavMesh, just cancel. This doesn't have NavMesh, but if I go, cuts, oh jeez. Okay, so this is a perfect example of NavMesh. You see the red stuff? That's basically all you can walk in, and it's very nicely done and very neatly done. I tend to ignore it, because if I can get a room that's already NavMeshed, brilliant. If it's got collision geometry, then don't fall through it. But yeah, I will get around to doing that later. So yeah, just close that for now. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe when I'm doing more advanced stuff, I'll give you a shoot. But yeah, that's kind of everything you need in terms of objects in the room. You have, don't forget your rotor, but all the controls, that's probably a bit sticky outy. Some controls you can actually duplicate. As you may have seen in my other control thingies, I like to have, sorry, console rooms, I like to have multiple space-time rules, particularly Edwardians. I like the sort of child pull thing. But yeah, I'm going to actually test that out to see if this works or not. Probably doesn't, but stuff like space-time throttle definitely, because there is no instance in which you use it other than an emergency landing, and yeah, that doesn't even work for me at the moment. So, oh well, but yeah. Um, alright, I think that's all I've got to say for now. Alright, bye bye!